2 games in 2 nights can be grueling for any hockey player. But for some, like freshman Zach Cavallini, the weekend's final game is a chance for him to show what he can do.
Texted my dad, told him I was in the game, and he gave me some encouraging words and things to kind of keep in mind throughout the game like he usually does.
Although this decision was easy for the coaches, filling the last spot on the lineup card would not be. Just hours before the game, questions of Corbin Rossmarin's wrist still hanging in the air.
Pretty swollen. Trainer thought it was broken, so had to go get some pictures taken. I was hoping to play. Coach sent out a lineup that I wasn't in. Went and got the x-rays taken and found out I was good to go, so I basically just begged him to let me play. After finding out he will be in the lineup, Rossmarin jokes to make light of a serious situation.
Good thing I hit the forearm so hard in the gym. The muscle just saved me. I think my shot actually got hard.
Hockey is a tough sport. A sport where men throw their bodies in front of moving objects such as hard rubber pucks and large, angry warriors. These men put their bodies on the line for one reason: victory. Every hockey player knows that the cost of victory includes bumps and bruises. You must pay the price to become champions. The Knights of Geneseo know that to be successful they must sacrifice their bodies, a task that may help the team face the greatest adversity yet.
I've been on teams that have had injuries, but this is by far the most injuries I've ever seen happen.
The amount of people injured this year is ridiculous. I've never been on a team like that before.
I've never seen anything like it.
You know, injuries, they come and go. We had to struggle a lot with them this year.
It was a rough go for our whole team this year with injuries.
Seems like everybody, every day's got an ankle, shoulder, knee, which is terrible for the team, obviously, because we need a lot of those guys.
When key players are injured, difficult circumstances can ultimately force a coach's hand.
Earlier in the year, we were really banged up. We had forwards playing on D and D playing forward.
You know, you got guys like Manley, DeCoste, Yardo was hurt, Skaggs is hurt. We had guys like Jesper and Jack playing forward against the Plattsburgh team.
When that happens, it's tough to get into a rhythm. It's tough to get those games under you where you're just going win after win because you don't know who's going to be in the lineup, and you're relying on younger guys. You're relying on guys that haven't been through the grind as much.
It's so hard to be consistent with injuries and lines changing every week.
2 players who have been plagued with injury for the better part of the season are redshirted sophomore Nick Ryan and sophomore forward Gary Childerhose.
Once that first week of practice goes by and you're stuck in the training room, you get the itch.
It's hard coming to the rink and to practice every day and knowing you're not going to play on the weekend because of injury.
You know, try to jump back a little early, put myself out again. But, you know, when the lineup's hurting as much as we were this year, you got to answer the bell when you get the call.
Although these players cannot suit up with their teammates, they have found new roles on the team.
All you can do is really go to the rink and try to keep the guys as loose as possible.
You gotta help the boys. You gotta keep them motivated, and that's your job when you're out. And you still gotta come down to the locker room. You still gotta show your dedication there. So
make sure everyone's having fun out there and try and get everyone prepared for the weekend games.
Tonight, the Ice Knights junior goaltender, Adrian Rubinek, will get the call. A normal occurrence for the other half of the defensive duo known as Gersh and Rube.
You know any place to get groin replacements?
As game time approaches, the players begin to prepare by going through their daily rituals. The routines vary from player to player, but for most they include a crisply taped stick, a lengthy stretch, and a team cheer. Tonight's opponent is SUNY Cortland, a team that is trying to catch the Knights in the playoff race. The Knights know that every point is important when trying to secure a playoff berth.
We need to get as many points as we possibly can. We're ahead of them in the standings. We've got to stay up there, and we've got to beat the teams that we know we can beat and try and get as many points as possible.
This is the biggest game that you'll play in this year. This game is all about choices. Don't wait for somebody else to do something. Every shift you have, you're going to have about, 20, 25 choices to make throughout the course of that shift. We have to make great choices for 60 minutes. Your work ethic will be there. Cortland does not want to play defense. They're not committed to defense. So we have to commit to defense. We have to commit to our net. We have to commit to blocking shots. We have to commit to being in a great position. We have to commit to 60 minutes of that. Because with great defense will come offense. Play for Yardo tonight. Play for each other tonight. Play for the name on the front, not on the back. Let's have a good one.
Olsen! Rosemary! Sharpie! Yard! OC! Ruby! Axel Kim
Determined to put last night's defeat behind them, the Knights came out hitting hard and pushing the pace. Senior Dan Scagnelli put the Knights on the board with a perfectly placed shot. After some big saves by goalie Adrian Rubinek, Scagnelli again led the rush off the ice, setting up senior Jonathan Redlick. Freshman Justin Sharfie's highlight reel toe drag carried the Ice Knights into intermission ahead 3-1. With great goaltending from Rubinek and a quick squirt of Jordan's secret stuff, the Knights were ready to take the ice for the second and third periods. The Knights continued to own the puck over the final 40 minutes of play. Then Redlick netted his second goal of the game, which gave the Knights a 4-1 lead. Speedy Junior Kaz Iwamoto put on the brakes and set up senior David Arduin for another Knights goal. Adrian Rubinek continued to backstop his team, while his teammates relentlessly skated, hit, and scored in front of him. When the final buzzer rang, the scoreboard read Geneseo 8, Cortland 3.
I mean, that win means a lot. I mean, we're fighting for our playoff life, so those are the kind of games you need to win.
That was a huge 2 points. You earned it. You committed to the game plan. For a couple minutes there, we got a little loosey-goosey, but I think Seuss really got the big goal back for us here. In all honesty, everybody came to play tonight. When I look back to the game and when I watch the film, I guarantee I'm not going to find somebody that left anything in the room, and that's what you need. Leadership take over this team. Because the team that I saw out there has a lot of potential. Okay, good job.
After Coach Schultz's speech, post-game rituals begin, starting with the game puck.
What we got here? Yeah, Seuss, good game. Rubes, way to hold strong there. But big game for the big players tonight. Vitter, goal and 3 assists. Good job.
Followed shortly after by the team's victory song.
Every Sunyac game is huge, no matter who you're playing. So coming off a loss to Oswego, we really wanted to come in and get a huge win against Cortland. So that's what we did.
After an important win, the team can breathe easy and have a laugh while they sign autographs for their young, eager fans. The game's first stars, Zachary Vitt and senior Jake Yard, are immediately asked for autographs, which they are more than happy to give out. While most of the team is ready to enjoy the rest of their weekend, some stay behind to tend to injuries. With a bag of ice and a few wraps of tape, The Knights only have a week to recover before they are battling another Sunyac opponent.